Philistines, he says.
I will destroy you, and none will be left.
The land by the sea will become pastures, having wells for shepherds and pens for flocks. That land will belong to the remnant of the house of Judah. There they will find pasture. In the evening, they will lie down in the houses of Ashkelon. The Lord their God will care for them. He will restore their fortunes.
I have heard the insults of Moab and the taunts of the Ammonites who insulted my people and made threats against their land. Therefore, as surely as I live,
declares the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel,
surely Moab will become like Sodom, the Ammonites like Gomorrah, a place of reeds and salt pits, a wasteland forever. The remnant of my people will plunder them. The survivors of my nation will inherit their land.
This is what they will get in return for their pride, for insulting and mocking the people of the Lord Almighty. The Lord will be awesome to them when he destroys all the gods of the earth. Distant nations will bow down to him, all of them in their own lands.
You Cushites too will be slain by my sword.
He will stretch out his hand against the north and destroy Assyria, leaving Nineveh utterly desolate and dry as the desert. Flocks and herds will lie down there, creatures of every kind. The desert owl and the screech owl will roost on her columns. Their hooting will echo through the windows. Rubble will fill the doorways. The beams of cedar will be exposed. This is the city of revelry that lived in safety. She said to herself,
I am the one, and there is none besides me.
What a ruin she has become, a lair for wild beasts. All who pass by her scoff and shake their fists.
Here endeth a portion of God's holy word. We honor it this morning by saying, thanks be to God. Through the Bible with Love was brought to us by the Open Bible Standard Churches of Jamaica, and they encourage us to read our Bibles each and every single day. All right, it's now 19 minutes past the hour of 6, and I'm live right now on Facebook and YouTube. That is Love 101's Facebook and YouTube page right now. All right, somebody says, let me see here. Okay, so I see here on my line, Grace Redwood says, good morning. I'll be having some guava leaf tea. All right, I've never had that one. How that one to taste? I've never had that one. I do like guavas, so I assume it would taste good. The group that sang at All Together Sing, If I Am the Lead Singer. Yes, I was the lead singer. Yes, so for those who don't know, this past Sunday night, we shared at All Together Sing, the Genesis, myself and the Genesis Praise Squad, or the Genesis Praise Squad and I, right, of the correct things then, we shared at All Together Sing on Sunday. So yes, that was me, Dolores, that was me, Sunday night. Good morning, I'm having fever grass tea. Yo, let me tell you my story with fever grass. So I went to a church camp. It was a teens camp. Big up the Open Bible Standard Churches of Jamaica. You understand? We went to our annual church camp over there in Warwick, Manchester, and we were on a nature walk, And I think we were just passing somewhere, and a Rastaman gave us some fever grass leaves. And I went back to the campsite, and we boiled it, and since then I've just been in love with fever grass tea. It's so good. I just think it's really good. So that is me. And listen, nothing can compare to the real fever grass, like the leaf itself. Yeah, man. So that's my story with fever grass tea. Discovered it in Manchester. Love it. Eve James says eucalyptus. All right, that's not bad. So I can clear up every impurity in my system. Mighty good God of Daniel. Somebody said my tea is turmeric ginger. All right, that sounds strong, myself. Wow, that sounds chang. Like you ever go and say after you're done. But yeah, man, big up yourself. For all sending in your teas. This person say my tea is blended pineapple skin, moringa, sauce-up, and ginger. No, tell me now. Are you guys training for something? Because them tea sound very strong. Them sound like if you drink this, you're pure You know, like when you put bleach on white clothes and they take care of that. It's all like you try to cleanse your soul. Mighty God, Daniel. This means I'm having leaf of life tea. That's Olivine Graham. All right. When the tea them strong though. Sister Peace, your tea, kind of a skin meringue, sauce upon ginger. Mercy, see where divine. That's some chan, man. But anyway, 6:22 on the clock. We're going to continue the music for you today. I've been playing some songs from the Sunday Service Choir. They have an album out right now titled Go Tell It. This next one is titled O Come, All Ye Faithful. Joyful and triumphant. O come ye to Bethlehem. This rendition by the Sunday Service Choir. In news this morning, Paula Llewellyn's future as DPP hinges on this morning's decision. Bank customers warn against making large cash withdrawals during holiday period. KSAMC confirms building breaches at property owned by Estate Bridge. Drastic increase in cargo, schedule disruptions blamed for congestion at Kingston Port. Four arrested after 40 pounds of cocaine seized at airport. On the international scene, U.S. diplomats in Syria to meet new authorities. And in sport, IOC presidential candidates release manifestos. Good morning. I am Jucal Dyer, and now the details. Paula Llewellyn will learn today whether she will continue in her post as Director of Public Prosecutions. This as the Court of Appeal is set to deliver its ruling on whether the Constitutional Court was correct to strike down a second extension of her term in office. Justices Sonia Wint Blair, Simone Wolf Rees, and Tricia Hutchinson Shelley had struck down that second extension in April. The judges found the extension unconstitutional, null, void, and of no legal effect. The unanimous lower court reasoned that by passing the amendment, the Holness administration conferred a power on Paula Llewellyn that was never contemplated by the drafters of Jamaica's constitution. The judges held that the framers of the Constitution did not empower the holder of the office of DPP, who they describe as a public servant, to decide the terms and conditions of service or on retirement from office. The Holness administration appealed the ruling, arguing that the decision was absurd and inconsistent. The administration's lawyers argued the lower court should have rejected the constitutional challenge filed by the PNP's Philip Paulwell and Peter Bunting. The Court of Appeal will hand down its ruling at 9:30 this morning. The extension of Llewellyn's tenure will come to an end in September 2025. The head of fraud prevention at NCB, Dane Nicholson, is warning customers of financial institutions to, as best as possible, avoid making large cash withdrawals over the Christmas holidays. Mr. Nicholson says criminals have stepped up surveillance of and attacks on people withdrawing large sums of cash to shop or conduct business over the holidays. He said some criminals are pretending to be bank customers, watching and waiting inside the institutions for persons making large cash withdrawals, then trailing and robbing them. Instead of visiting the bank to make these withdrawals, Mr. Nicholson urged bank customers to conduct the transactions via the RTGS and ACH channels or NCB's e-link platform. Meanwhile, the anti-fraud expert is again urging banking customers and business operators to remain on high alert for cybercriminals seeking to gain access to their accounts through smishing scams. He admitted that while there is an increase in the number of phishing and smishing scams, there has not been an increase in the number of customers falling victim, presumably because financial institutions have intensified their customer education campaigns to ensure their customers are aware of and report such scams. The major organized crime and anti-corruption agency, MOCA, recently charged nearly a dozen people for allegedly defrauding the accounts of banking customers using a smishing scam. A member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force is among the accused. The public is also being urged not to share sensitive personal or financial details such as passwords or banking information with unknown or suspicious sources. The Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, KSAMC, says a report submitted by the Chief Engineering Officer confirmed breaches of the approved building permit issued to Estate Bridge Holdings Limited. The permit was issued for a residential development at 2 Wycliffe Close, Beverly Hills, Kingston 6, owned by Estate Bridge Holdings Limited. The Integrity Commission, in its report tabled in the House of Representatives on December 10, had indicated that the company built more rooms than permitted by the KSAMC. Mayor of Kingston Andrew Swaby says a state bridge applied to the KSAMC seeking to regularize the changes on the same day the Integrity Commission's investigation report into breaches by the company was tabled in Parliament. He said a report submitted by the Chief Engineering Officer outlined breaches. Mayor Swaby said the KSAMC's internal assessment revealed that the building permits issued to the developer for the construction of an apartment complex in Beverly Hills, St. Andrew, expired on July 6, 2023. He said the KSAMC conducted 3 site visits prior to August 2022, well before the expiration of the permit. But a final inspection required before the expiration of the permit was not requested by the applicant nor carried out by the KSAMC. Mr. Swaby admitted that the municipality failed to take action to halt construction after the permit expired, allowing work to continue without authorization or oversight. He said corrective measures will be implemented to address deficiencies identified within the system. The Port Authority of Jamaica (PAJ) says the current congestion at the Port of Kingston is the result of a drastic increase of cargo volumes, as well as disruptions in mainliner service schedules. On Wednesday, businessman Richard Pandohi highlighted the issue of congestion at the port on social media platform X. In a media release on Thursday evening, the Port Authority explained that current cargo volumes processed in Kingston are over 50% higher than pre-COVID-19 levels. It stated that from 2020 to 2022, volumes increased by 28%, followed by an additional 18.5% growth between 2022 and 2024. Additionally, the Port Authority said periodic vessels queuing outside Kingston Harbor stems from disruptions in mainliner service schedules caused by geopolitical tensions, conflicts along major shipping routes, and adverse weather conditions. It noted that in 2024, only 9% of the 172 mainliners processed in Kingston arrived on schedule, with just 1 of 11 mainliners arriving on time in November. It said to prevent gridlock, Kingston's transshipment terminal prioritizes mainliners that balance container delivery and evacuation. The PAJ said that as of Wednesday, 3 mainliner vessels were anchored outside Kingston Harbor, with 1 processed on Thursday, while the others await feeder vessels for cargo evacuation. PAJ said that to accommodate increased seasonal demand, additional container pickup slots have been introduced, with only 66% currently utilized. Terminal operating hours have also been extended to include Saturdays. 3 airport employees and a foreign national have been arrested and charged in connection with the seizure of more than 40 pounds of cocaine at Sangster International Airport in Montego Bay, St. James. The Firearms and Narcotics Investigation Division intercepted the cocaine in 2 separate incidents at the airport last week. On Wednesday, December 11, a joint operation between the FNID and the Jamaica Customs Agency Contraband Enforcement Team, dubbed Clean Sweep, resulted in the seizure of 28.5 pounds of cocaine with an estimated street value of close to £500,000. 5 employees were detained during the operation, but 3 were charged. They are Ramp Agent Roshen Powell, 36, otherwise called Romy of Norwood St. James, Lead Ramp Agent Leroy Jones, 62, otherwise called Rata of Mount Salem in St. James, and Ramp Agent O.J. Simpson, 35, of Salt Marsh, Trelawney. Powell, Jones, and Simpson have been charged with possession of cocaine, dealing in cocaine, attempting to export cocaine, and conspiracy to export cocaine. In the meantime, female British citizen Salha Suleiman was arrested and charged after cocaine weighing 12 pounds was discovered in her luggage at the airport. She was subsequently charged with possession of cocaine and taking steps to export cocaine. The significant bust followed an extensive investigation into insider threats within the airport environment. On the international scene, U.S. diplomats are in the Syrian capital where they plan to meet representatives from HTS, also known as Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, the group now in charge, but which Washington still designates as a terrorist organization. The visit follows those of delegations in recent days from the UN and other countries, including the UK, France, and Germany. This is the first formal American diplomatic appearance in Damascus in more than a decade. It is a further sign of the dramatic shifts underway in Syria since the fall of the President Bashar al Assad's regime more than a week ago, and the speed of efforts by the US and Europe, also leaning on Arab countries, that is, to try to influence its emerging governance. The Syrian capital, Damascus, is where they plan to meet. The delegation of senior officials includes Assistant Secretary of State Barbara Leaf, Roger Carstens, who is US President Joe Biden's hostage envoy, and Daniel Rubenstein, Senior Advisor in the Bureau of Near East Affairs. They plan to meet representatives from HTS in a show of readiness to deal with the groups the US still designates as a terrorist organization, but building pressure for it to transition to inclusive, non sectarian government. Washington is effectively laying down a set of conditions before it would consider delisting the group, a critical step which could help ease the path towards sanctions relief that Damascus desperately needs. The officials are seeking further information to help find American journalist Austin Tice, who was abducted in Damascus in 2012. And finally, in sport, World Athletics chief Lord Sebastian Coe says he would be open to the possibility of moving some indoor sports from the Summer Olympics to the Winter Games if he becomes the new president of the International Olympic Committee. Britain's two-time Olympic 1500 meters champion published his manifesto on Thursday morning, alongside those of the other six candidates in the running to succeed Thomas Bach next year. Coe has vowed to shake up the IOC, claiming too much power is in the hands of too few people. Samaranch, whose late father was in charge, rather, of the IOC for 21 years until 2001, says his core mission is to protect the universality of the Olympics. And that is the news. Please stay with us. News from and more, not Caribbean News Desk, that is on a break for right now, but more inside Love in the Morning right after this.
It's more than living, it could be thriving. With CIBC Caribbean's fixed deposit offering, you can take charge of your cash. With 50,000 Jamaican to start, choose terms from 30 days to 2 years. Lock in your funds and enjoy premium rates guaranteed to grow your wealth. Whether you're eyeing short or long-term gains, our fixed deposit accounts puts you firmly in control of your money. Now is the time to open a CIBC fixed deposit account and start earning more today. CIBC, ambitions made real.
This is a special announcement from Love 101.
6:45.
Are you a registered charity clearing charitable items during the holiday and in the new year? Here are some reminders from the Jamaica.
Where you coming to, JJ? Bed.
Look at his tail. Oh my God. You do that, man, again. Everybody do that, man, again. You do that, man, again. You just think.
Register now and get ready to run, walk, and wheel for a cause. Our beneficiaries are